Welcome back to the Boeing Bookshelf. Today I'm going to be talking about Starsight, the sequel to Skyward. Altogether, I think it's a great book. Helps fill out from Skyward. I do know towards the end of Skyward, the main character Spencer does have a bit of a Mary Sue moment. Brandon Sanderson kind of helps fix that in Starsight, where her powers aren't quite as overpowered as they were in that moment, and throughout Starsight she's actually trying to learn how to use her powers that she managed to use at the end of Skyward without really knowing what she's doing. Something that I love that's happening in Starsight is the world is growing. The characters are learning more and more about their world, and us as readers are getting to learn right along with them. Brandon Sanderson did something I'm not used to many authors doing. Actually, starting out with the first book, the characters, the readers, nobody really knows much about the world. Even by the end of the book, they barely know anything. And then he's continuing to build on it, and we're slowly learning more and more as the series goes on. Far too many authors either never really expand on their world and it's kind of two-dimensional, or like most writers who do put a lot of detail into their world, they cram it all into that first book and make it a little bit of a hard read to get into. It's not the case in the series. Also love the fact that Brandon Sanderson's doing a pretty good job of foreshadowing and having twists that aren't obvious. There's one of his foreshadowing from Skyward that matters, and Starsight, I got the foreshadowing, knew something was going to happen, but I still didn't know what. It was awesome to have that surprise, even though I knew something was going to happen. Okay, so in Starsight, picks up pretty much just shortly after Skyward. Well, no, it may have been a couple months actually, now that I think about it. But Spence's world has increased dramatically. They're exploring outside their planet a little bit, actually establishing themselves beyond just on the planet and actually living in the caves on the planet. They are still fighting the Krell. They've learned a lot more about them. Unfortunately, the Krell are actually kind of amping up their attacks against them. The characters have discovered that originally they weren't really trying to exterminate them, but it's seeming more and more like they are at this point. So they're actually trying to figure out some way of escaping the planet and getting away from the Krell. Spencer does end up making contact with a sympathetic alien, we'll say, Alanique. Has the same type of powers as Spencer and ends up developing a plan to spy on, maybe steal some technology from the government of the Krell, which turns out to be basically an intergalactic government known as the Superiority. Most of the book is actually spent covering that. There's also some build-up for what looks like might be the true main villains for the series, the Delvers, which is an extremely alien race. They don't even actually inhabit the same universe dimension as the rest of the characters. They're in what they refer to as the nowhere. In the series, there's faster than light travel and communications, and apparently whenever that's used, it passes through the nowhere. Anytime that happens, these alien beings, the Delvers, react to it like they're being invaded by ants or something like that. They don't think of us as intelligent beings. Once their attention gets drawn, basically they're trying to just kill off these annoyances. Don't know for sure how much of a role they're really going to play in the series, but they're definitely being built up like they're going to be the main villains, or along those lines. Spencer has also discovered that in the past it was actually humans who were pretty much the villains, and kind of coming to terms with that a little bit. She has to come to terms with the fact that the different alien species that are part of the superiority, not all of them are really as bad as she's convinced herself that they are. Great book. It's hard not to give spoilers. They are pretty new books. Just recently found out that there are 2 more books coming. The first of the 2 supposed to be coming out sometime next year, hopefully, because fortunately Starsight, while it was, the ending was a little bit tough. It's a great ending in the fact that it left me wanting more, that I can't wait for this next book to come out. But at the same time, it was such an abrupt ending. It felt like it was, in the middle of a big battle, mid-swing, oh, here's the end of the book. Wasn't exactly that, but that's what it left me feeling like. So a little bit of, I guess you'd say, a infuriating ending, but it's definitely left me wanting more, so I guess I'd have to say it's successful. Please like, subscribe, comment. Always up for book suggestions. Want to talk about the series, whatever. Before I go, I want to give a shout out to Jared's Rant and Views and Button Masher Gaming. They give us a lovely shout out in one of their last videos. Also want to shout out to We the Best. They've given us some pointers and comments. Thanks for that. If you're into movies, check out Jared's Rants and Views, gaming, and some movies, Button Masher Gaming. If you have any questions about CBD, definitely give a look in on We the Best. That's it. Have a great day.